The term urban mountain bike is a bit of an oxymoron, but it makes a lot of sense for electric bikes. There are a lot of hardtail, hybrid-style e-bikes that incorporate mountain bike-style suspension forks and drivetrains, yet are designed to tackle more of the urban jungle. These e-bikes are often more rugged than standard commuter e-bikes, and they even allow riders to hit the trails on the same bike that they would ride to work every day. Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today I'm showing you my top 5 urban electric mountain bikes that I've tested for summer of 2020. Let's check it out. First up on my list is the RideUp 500 series. This is honestly one of my favorite hybrid-style electric bikes that works equally well for the street and trails. It's more than fairly priced at under $1,200, and when you check out these specs, I think you'll see that the price is a steal for what you get. Like all bikes on this list, it's a hardtail with a suspension fork up front. In the rear, we've got a 750 watt Bafang hub motor that can get this thing up to an advertised speed of up to 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour, though I find that I get a hair under that speed. Still, this is a fast e-bike that will definitely get you where you're going quickly. For battery, we're rocking a 500 watt-hour, 48 volt pack with true LG battery cells. It's not a huge pack, but 500 watt-hours is enough for most people, especially if you're going to be helping by pedaling. On throttle only, the range is around 20 to 25 miles, or about 32 to 40 kilometers. But if you want to add some pedal assist power, then you can nearly double that range. There's also the option to order a larger battery pack that gives you around 70% more battery and 70% more range. The RideUp 500 series doesn't include racks or fenders in the price, but they do sell add-ons, so you can add them if you need fenders for rainy areas or racks for carrying cargo. You do get a few nice accoutrements though, including leather grips, built-in LED light that runs off the pack, and some really nice cable management if you're into that sort of thing. At under $1,200, this is a pretty basic e-bike, but one that offers plenty of speed and range for the average urban warrior. Next up on my list, I've got the pxcycle EXC Plus, straight out of Portland. Marketed as the ultimate in urban mountain bikes, this bad boy comes standard with a loadout designed for utility. That includes not just a rear rack, but also a front rack, allowing you to carry tons of cargo. And the front rack even mounts to the head tube, so it remains stable even in turns. A hydraulic suspension fork up front smooths out the ride for you, and speaking of smooth, there's nothing smoother than the pedal assist on this mid-drive motor. The EXC Plus sports a 500 watt Shenyi mid-drive motor that uses a torque sensor to give you the smoothest pedal assist. There's no throttle on this bike, so the pedal assist better be good, and it is. In top gear, the bike will rocket you up to 27 miles an hour or 43 kilometers per hour without breaking a sweat. Seriously, this thing has pull. Or you could drop it back down into low gear and get that extra torque for when you're climbing hills. Not that it doesn't have plenty of torque already. The EXC Plus can climb like a champ and hit high speeds all in the same commute. The battery isn't huge, with a similar 500 watt-hour pack, just like the RideUp 500 series, but you get more range out of it due to the pedal assist only operation of the bike. They tell you it'll go 20 to 40 miles or 32 to 64 kilometers on a charge, but I don't know how you'd ever see the low end of that. In my experience, you'll be looking at the higher end of that range most of the time, and sometimes you might even exceed it if you keep the pedal assist in a low enough level. Another nice advantage it has over the 500 series is a set of Shimano hydraulic disc brakes. They aren't very high up on Shimano's hierarchy of juice brakes, but they sure beat adjusting cable brakes any day of the week. These features do add up a bit, and in order to get 2 racks, a mid-drive motor, and hydraulic brakes, you'll have to spend a bit more, to the tune of $1,895. But for a mid-drive bike that can hit Class 3 speeds, that's a reasonable price if I've ever seen one. Alright, next up we're looking at the Evinton Level, which is a beautiful e-bike and offers a masterclass in how to design a slick-looking bike that still offers plenty of get up and go. Come in here close, I want to show you something. Look at the welds here, or more like, what welds? You can't even see them. It's like they pulled this frame out of the earth like that. I've ridden a couple of other Evinton e-bikes before, and geez man, whoever is welding these things deserves a Carnegie Prize in art. Alright, but enough drooling over the welds. It takes more than that to make this list. Back on the e-bike side of things, we're looking at a Class 3 e-bike that can hit 28 miles an hour or 45 kilometers per hour and comes with both a throttle and pedal assist. Up front, you'll find 75 millimeters of suspension travel, and in the rear, you've got yourself a 750 watt peak motor paired with an 8-speed Shimano drivetrain. The battery is nicely hidden away in that slightly chunky down tube and packs in 672 watt-hours of battery that the company claims will give you a real-world range of 40 miles or 64 kilometers, on average. But they also give you the actual ranges of the bike at different speeds, which I really appreciate. Almost no other company does this, and it really sets Evinton apart as a straight and true company. Respect. Back to the bike though. The rest of the components are equally nice, including a large display, hydraulic disc brakes on big 180mm rotors, included rack and fenders, etc. Basically, a bunch of pretty nice parts. All told, the bike runs for just under $1,600. Is that a fair price? You tell me. Actually, no, wait, I'll tell you. It is a fair price. It's more than fair for these specs. Compare it to the competition, you'll see. And while you're at it, compare those welds too.
Oh yeah.
Up next is a crowd favorite, the Rad City from Rad Power Bikes. Rad is the largest e-bike company in the US, and for good reason. They know how to make e-bikes that people love, and they know how to get them out there on the road. The Rad City is no exception. This is a commuter classic that got a few updates in the past year. Up front, it sports a Suntour spring fork with 100 millimeters of travel, and in the rear, it rocks that massive direct drive 750 watt hub motor, making it the only e-bike on this list that is capable of performing regenerative braking. Not only does that dribble a bit more charge into the battery, but it also saves your brake pads from wearing out as quickly and needing adjustment, which is good because we're rocking mechanical brakes here. Nothing wrong with that, they just require more maintenance than hydraulic brakes. Powering that motor is a 672 watt-hour battery with Samsung 18650 cells. It should be good for around 30 miles or 50 kilometers of range on throttle riding, and around 50 miles or 80 kilometers if you do some honest pedal assist riding. Part of the reason that the range is so good on the Rad City is that the top speed is a bit slower at just 20 miles an hour or 32 kilometers per hour. That seems to be enough for many people, though you didn't hear this from me, but you can actually remove the speed limit on the bike to get it about 25% faster. But shh, mum's the word. All in all, this is a solid commuter bike that's great for bike lane riding, but can also handle a bit less smooth sailing when it comes to terrain. Between the included rack and fenders and the included lights, you've got everything you need to get rolling right out of the box. At just $14.99, Rad remains one of the best modestly priced e-bike brands in the business. And last but certainly not least is the Electrek Bike Company Model R, an e-bike that I very recently reviewed and very recently fell in love with. It's another hardtail like the rest of the bikes on this list, but with a different twist. It's got more of a cruiser bike vibe to it. Check out those wide, swept-back handlebars and the upright seating position. You get a nice suspension fork and a plush saddle to give the most comfortable ride possible. The e-bike was absolutely built for cruising, and cruising is what it does. Right up to a top speed of 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour. Its motor is rated at 750 watt continuous, but it pulls up to 1250 watts peak, meaning it can climb hills like a champ and get up to speed quickly. It also has the best brakes of any bike on this list, with 4-piston Tektro Dorado hydraulic disc brakes front and back. Another unique selling point of the Model R is that it's an American-made e-bike. The company has a factory in Newport Beach, California, which must cost them a gazillion dollars, but somehow they still do it, with Americans building American e-bikes. I visited their factory there in Newport, and I was blown away by the quality they put into these things, and getting to ride around on the beach was a pretty nice plus too. The Model R is just a really nice commuter bike that combines power with comfort. Priced at $2,199, it's not cheap, but then again, you're getting the most power on this list combined with American assembly, so you get what you pay for. And that wraps it up. Those are my top 5 picks for urban hardtail bikes for summer of 2020. Each of these would make a great commuter bike that can just as easily handle a scenic trail as well. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you won't miss our next video. See you next time, everyone.